Well, I was born in 1923.
Yeah?
I went to school when I was 4.
Where were you born?
In Yorkshire, England. And I went to, and then we used to have what we call the 11 plus. If you passed the 11 plus, you went to grammar school. Well, I passed the 11 plus. I went to grammar school until I was 16. And I got the swimming cup when I was there.
Oh, yeah.
Champion of the school. And then
Was that first particular swimming, or?
well, you did everything. And,
and you won it all?
Oh, well, I got the top marks anyway. And then I left school, and then I was still left at the post office. And then when I was 18, I joined the forces, the Auxiliary Air Force, the RAF. And I was on radar. And then, I went to several places.
So what was that? 1941?
19...
You're born in 23.
Yeah, I suppose it would be 1941 too.
Was that when the radar was already out, right? Then?
Oh yes, in its infancy.
Yeah.
Because I said to Gordon and Philip about being on radar, they said it's changed a bit since your mother day. Anyway, and then I was in the Isle of Wight, and that's where I met Fred, because he was on radar waiting to go to train as a pilot. And we knew each other about 6 months when we got married, and that was 1944. And then that was November 44, wasn't it? Yeah. And the last day of August the next year, so it was all right. Yeah. Gordon was born, 1945. Fred was in Canada, training. And then when did you come out? 1945, 6? 6.
Oh, really? The war was over when you were still over there? Training, or?
No, only part of the war was over.
Oh, in the Pacific?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you were still training to go out to the Pacific?
Yeah.
Well, then the bomb was dropped on Nagasaki. Hydrogen bomb.
Yeah.
And the Japanese packed in.
Fortunately. And then, as I say, I came to live down south. And then...
but what Sylvia's omitted to say, though, we only knew each other 6 months. But we didn't have to get married. It wasn't a shotgun wedding, as they called it.
Yeah.
As I say, we were married in November, and Gordon was born the last day of August.
And Gordon's always had his leg pulled.
Every time we have an anniversary,
Honeymoon
Gordon
baby.
says... Every time we have an anniversary, Gordon says, "How old am I, Mother?" And Philip says, "They kept you under wraps for 3 months to make it look all right."
He was really born in...
Yeah. Philip says, "Oh yeah, that was a honeymoon baby." He said, "Gordon, you were nearly a little basket."
So what do you know about your parents, and tell us a little bit about them. What you know. What did they do? And
my father was a bus driver, and my mother came from Newcastle.
Newcastle?
Yes. They'd married.
Sure.
They'd married. What year was that? About 1990. Because he was in the war.
In the First World War.
Yeah. And then I had a brother and a sister. My brother was older than me, my sister, but we all got on ever so well. My father died young, but my mother was 86 or something when she died.
Really?
Yeah. Anyway, that's it. That's enough of me.
Well then, Grandad, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I went to a usual ordinary school, and we lived just 50 yards away from it.
So was that in Shepherd's Bush?
In Shepherd's Bush, London. And I
Iced water.
I didn't pass the examination for grammar school as Sylvia did. I went to a different sort of school because I just missed out, and I went to the North Hammersmith Central School. And at the age of 13, I passed for taking a technical scholarship, but my mother decided that there wasn't enough money in it, because commercial artists didn't get very much money and they were always out of work.
Oh yeah.
So I chose to go on the other side, which at that sort of school amazingly had a commercial side, and that's where I learned. Well, I did ordinary schooling. I learned to type, write shorthand, bookkeeping, all that type of thing. But in addition to that, one or two of us were picked out, and we did carry on trying to get what is called the Oxford School Certificate, which would be the same as going to a grammar school.
Oh yeah.
And in fact, I have got the Oxford School Certificate. And I left school at the age of 15, and my father was determined that I should have a secure job. And that's why I finished up in the town hall, because he wanted me to have a job with a pension.
So he was still alive
At
then?
the early age of 15, he wanted me to have a job with a pension.
Yeah.
So my life was set out for me straight away.
He was getting you ready.
And the most vivid thing I remember about that was that I had a letter giving me the job at 15 shillings a week,
15 shillings.
from which I had to pay pension contributions. And the hours were 9 to 5. And the first morning I got there at 9, that was fine. At 8 o'clock in the evening, my mother phoned the town hall to find out where I was, because I was still doing the post to get it out.
Oh really?
So those sort of hours I was expected to do, but you didn't get overtime.
Really?
And after that day, I had to go to the sorting office in the morning to get the post about 3/4 of an hour before the town hall opened. So that's my vivid memory of starting as a junior.
So you're doing all that without pay?
Yeah,
Extra
just
hours?
15 shillings a week, which I stuck until I joined the RAF during the war, which was
40.
been 1940.
Yeah.
And I would be about 19, wouldn't I?
I was gonna.
When I joined up, they put me in radar, and radar was very, very new then. And after my basic training, I was sent to this place in Lincolnshire, and after that, I went to one or two others.
So what did you
So-
do with the radar then? What were your
Well, I was
jobs?
what they call a radar operator, and I was on these radar tubes, like television sets, and we controlled, I say the officers controlled with our help, our fighter planes which were intercepting the German raiders,
Yeah.
and we were responsible for quite a large number being shot down, because we controlled both fighters and they had their own radar as well. So we brought them in as close as we could to the bomber, and they took over. And I did that for a long time, and I'd been accepted for our crew, but I had a long wait.
Hmm.
And in the course of all this, it's a bit of a long story, I finished up in the Isle of Wight, and that's where I met Sylvia.
You
And
know
I
the rest.
So what job did you have?
I was on radar doing the same.
Radar operator
Operator.
in the Women's Royal Air Force.
So they,
And he was a
men and
sergeant.
women did the same.
Yeah, he was
Jobs.
a
But at
sergeant.
that time I was a sergeant,
And I had one strike.
Yeah.
so I was in charge.
And it hasn't changed ever since,
I'm
right?
in charge. That's it then, thank you. No, so then we went to Highcliffe, because you were made at Southampton.
No,
I was made.
no, what I've overlooked is the fact that I stayed in local government after the war, but I studied and qualified as a chartered secretary, and as a result I got a job as Assistant Secretary to the National Labour Board, where I worked for about 20 years. And getting on a bit, about 47, I then changed to the British Transport Docks Board, and while I was there I was offered a post of an admin manager of the Port of Southampton, and that's when we moved down to the New Forest district into Highcliffe, where I worked for say 8 years before I actually retired.
Yeah.
And he's been retired 19 years now. Thank you very much.
Is that all right then?
Yeah, thank you very much.